I'm in a good place right now, but I don't ever want to forget this. See, the thing is, when things start going right, it's when you start to kind of forget where you've been because you're in process of moving forward. Because right now I've actually been feeling some momentum. I'm stacking small wins. I'm feeling, starting to get that confidence back. Like I'm going to do this. I'm doing it. And reality is when that happens, you do, the negativity kind of fades away. But the thing is, I don't want to dwell on it. I'm not going to live in that headspace. But I also don't want to forget, because I'm documenting this thing for real. I'm trying to document how I feel so that if I have a hard day or if I have something that throws me, I can come back and watch some of these videos and go, that is not the direction I want to be going. So I want to share a story with you. So my family and I, my kids and my wife, we've been to Hawaii a couple of times. I feel fortunate to be able to do that. The first time we took the whole family was about 5 years ago. And it was an expensive trip. Oh my gosh. It was one of those things. We had like 8 of us. Of course, Dad basically foots the whole bill. And, it was over in Oahu. And my idea of a vacation is a little bit different than all the kids. They want to be off like hiking and running and snorkeling and, doing all the things. And I'm fat, okay? And here's the problem. When you're overweight, when you're obese, it robs you of experience. And I want to share a couple things that happened. So one of them, I remember, this is kind of funny. Stick around. We're over in, I can't even pronounce anything Hawaiian. So we're over in Hanamoa Bay. Something you got to pay to snorkel there. And we're over there and, and I'm blind, man. The diabetes, the blood sugar, everything, it's got my eyes been whacked out for a while before I was even diagnosed. And here's the deal. We're out snorkeling. My wife's out there just enjoying it, loving it. She's head down, seeing all the fish, and I'm snorkeling. I'm going like Mr. Magoo, if a fish is like 2 inches in front of my face, I'm like, oh, there it is. And all of a sudden I see these two big, there had to be at least 2 feet, those like flat fish. They're black. I don't even know what kind they are, but they're really cool looking fish and they're huge. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And they were chasing each other in like a spiral, like they were fighting. I don't think they were playing. They looked like they were trying to eat each other. And I pull up my camera. I've got my iPhone in like a little zip pouch thingy, and I'm like trying to film it. And these 2 fish are just going at it. And I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. I feel like, Animal Kingdom or something. And the reality was I filmed this for at least 5 minutes following these fish. And it was incredible. Finally, I get out of the water, I dry off and I towel off, I get in my beach chair, I start looking at my phone and I find that video. I push play and it goes, boop, and I'm like, what the, I know I filmed that thing for like 5 minutes, like it was so cool, I want to experience it because I couldn't really see it in the water, I just knew they were there. And so I played again, boop. I'm like, oh, I called my daughter who was not with us and I'm like, what did I do wrong? I'm feeling like a 80-year-old with technology issues. And we finally figured out, I'm so dang blind, when I pulled up the thing, I hit the wrong button. I'm all thumbs or whatever, and next thing you know, I'm in, what do you call that? Like time-lapse mode or something. And it's taking a shot like every 30 seconds or whatever. And so my 5-minute video turned into like I don't even know what it was, like a 10, 15, 30 second little, like you couldn't even see the fish or what was going on. And I was so pissed. And that's just like one funny story. I remember another one. We hiked to the top of this, oh man, what was it called? Anyway, it's a really popular hike there. It should be easy. We hiked to the very top. And man, I remember I was dying the whole way up. And right as you get to the top, there's another level of these yellow stairs that are like steep, and it goes up to the upper lookout. By the time I got to that point, I was done. I couldn't go any further. I looked at that flight of stairs. I'm like, nope. And all my kids went up there. Even my wife made it up there, and they are doing their thing. And I'm taking pictures at the lower level, and I just felt so dumb. You know, like, I should be able to do that. It shouldn't be a question. I should easily be able to do that. And so at the end of the day, I couldn't. And what ended up happening was I waited for them. They came back down. We hiked back down. I was, struggling the whole way. My knees hurt, etc., etc. And it reminded me, I remembered it. I remember it to this day. I spent a small fortune for me, on this trip with my family, and they got to enjoy all of the things. Snorkeling in Waimea Bay, jumping off the rocks, snorkeling in Hanamoa Bay, whatever that's called. Things that I should have enjoyed. And I was there, and I was there. And that's about what I can say. Taking my shirt off at the beach. I mean, I can be confident enough to whip my shirt off and be a fat dude on the beach. But is that fun? No. Is it embarrassing? I guess that's a choice. So I can choose not to be embarrassed, right? But at the end of the day, that's not what I want. Goes along with everything else that I've talked about before. Being fat sucks. Tying your shoes is hard. Clipping your toenails is hard. Bending over, touching the ground is hard or impossible. Everything makes it more difficult. But the point of this particular video is, what I really realized is, you miss out on a lot of things because you've allowed yourself to get to that point. And I do want to make a clarification here. I do accept full responsibility of where I'm at. Where I'm at today and where I have been is a direct response of hand-to-mouth disease. What I choose to put in my hand and pull up to my mouth. So I take full responsibility for that. But it doesn't mean that it's easy. It doesn't mean that it's fun. And I'm not blaming being fat on robbing me of experiences. I'm blaming myself. But when you get to that physical condition, you miss out. And the whole point here is, I don't want the future me, which is moving forward with reckless abandon and getting it done. I don't want that future version of me to forget who I am, where I've been, what I did to myself, because I'm fixing it for good. And I want to be able to look back and have these, you could call them negative emotions, I guess, or negative self-image, or negative memories. You can call it whatever you want. I'm calling it core memories from being fat. And yeah, I'm not going to dwell in that headspace, but I don't want to forget, because it may motivate me one day. This video right here, I may look back on it and it may motivate me. And maybe the difference between quitting and going, oh heck no, I'm not quitting. Anyway, I think that about sums it up for that thought and for today's video. So again, if you're new around here, we're doing this daily. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the love and support. You guys rock. See you tomorrow. Dude out.